Now, KC24's Bulldog Insider, presented by Fashion Furniture.
What's happening, Red Wave? Welcome to another edition of the Bulldog Insider, where it's all Bulldogs all the time. Later, we'll get you ready for the start of softball season, and you'll learn about the impressive potential of former Fresno State golfer Trevor Clayton. But we start with Bulldog basketball. Yeah, an up-and-down week for the Fresno State men this week. Tuesday provided the up as the Dogs engineered the program's biggest comeback since at least 2011, coming back from 20 down in the first half to beat San Diego State. Saturday, though, was the down. In Fort Collins, Colorado State carried a 3-point lead into halftime and opened the second half on a 13-0 run. And this time, the Dogs weren't able to overcome the big deficit, eventually falling 74-65 at Moby Arena. All right, so taking a look at the updated Mountain West standings, here it is. 7th-ranked Nevada leading the way, followed by Utah State, Fresno State, and UNLV, who are all tied for second at 5-2. Utah State won at New Mexico yesterday, while UNLV lost at San Diego State. The Aztecs are all alone in 6th right now, followed by Air Force, Colorado State, who's now 3-4 in the league, and New Mexico, the Lobos, surprisingly near the bottom of the conference, followed by Wyoming and San Jose State. This week, the Dogs will travel to Wyoming on Wednesday, then host New Mexico Saturday at the Save Mart Center. And with more on Fresno State men's basketball, and we're going to talk a little football as well. Pleased to be joined by Jackson Moore, of course, writer for BarkBoard.com. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me, Scott.
All right. Fresno State men's basketball, sitting there tied for second in the Mountain West, having a good year so far. They were picked 5th in the preseason, so I think they're exceeding the expectations of at least those outside the program. What do you think of the job Justin Hudson's been doing?
Yeah, it's impressive. I mean, even when you look at this team, how things have developed, I mean, Braxton Huggins, we didn't know exactly what he was going to be, but the leading scorer, I mean, he's been huge. Noah Blackwell, who unfortunately has missed the last 2 games, he's been very good. So the pieces that the Bulldogs have been worthy of being, I think, maybe number 2, number 3 in the Mountain West right now. But it's not very deep, and this team has been able to survive, small hiccups here and there. They've been without Deshaun for a period of time. Braxton missed a few games. Johnny McWilliams was out. So for them to, I mean, not only just be where they're at right now, but to get over some of the adversity they faced too, it's really impressive. And I'm a bit surprised as well by the rest of the Mountain West, how the Bulldogs have kind of risen, while teams like New Mexico, as you mentioned, are not looking so hot right now.
And let's talk a little bit about this team's future beyond this year. Justin Hudson, known as a great recruiter, and if we could pop up the full screen here, we got a couple transfers coming into the Fresno State program, things we learned recently. He's officially landed Jordan Campbell. He's a true freshman guard who's going to be coming to Fresno State from Oregon State. He's already enrolled in school at Fresno State, so he could end up playing as early as the spring next season. He's also reportedly, Jackson, landed another transfer from Utah, a guy named Vontae Hendricks, who some even had as a 4-star recruit coming out of high school. Was seeing some time this year for Utah and contributing off the bench. What do you think about these transfers that are coming from the Pac-12?
Yeah, it's big, and like I just mentioned, Huggins and Blackwell, they've been great for the Bulldogs, but still, when you look at New Mexico State and Long Beach State transfers compared to Utah and Oregon State transfers, they should be a different level of players coming in, more often than not at least. And when you look at Hendricks, he had offers from Oregon, he had an offer from Gonzaga. I mean, he could go pretty much anywhere, the teams that actually gave him a look. Campbell had an offer from Nevada, which if you're a Wolfpack right now, I mean, you got to be a top-notch player to be there. So that's impressive. And of course, he went to San Diego State originally, or he committed there. They let him out after Coach Hudson and Coach Shelton both came here to Fresno State, and after things had some family issues coming away from Oregon State, so that helped him get to a better location, and coaches he's very familiar with. So Coach Hudson using these connections with the Pac-12 rather than what we've seen in the past in the Big 12 with Coach Terry and then some of the other occasional guys like out of New Mexico State and Long Beach State.
All right, while I got you up here, I got to ask you about some football, right? What a great year it was for the Dogs, and when you have success, other teams come looking for your assistant coaches, right? And we learned that, Kalen DeBoer is leaving Fresno State. He was the offensive coordinator for the Bulldogs. He's leaving for Indiana. The Bulldogs also lost their defensive line coach, Jamar Kane. Offensive coordinator, pretty high-profile position. There was a report today that, an assistant at Idaho State actually was going to be taking over the offensive, or he was the offensive line coach at Idaho State. He's coming to Fresno State, apparently. So my question for you is, since Ryan Grubb, the Fresno State offensive line coach, kind of been rumored to maybe be in line for that coordinator position, in 30 seconds, Who's going to get that offensive coordinator job?
Yeah, my guess would be Grubb at least. It looks like he's the highest paid assistant outside of the coordinator, so they really value him. And with DeBoer gone, he was kind of the link that got him to Fresno State. And now that they've seen him here at Fresno State, he's done so well, they don't want to lose him at all. So they want to make sure, if it's making him coordinator, that's the move maybe to make to keep him around. And we've seen he's just been such a great recruiter, and he's been linked with DeBoer so much. He's actually was DeBoer's offensive coordinator at the University of Sioux Falls. So he's got that experience. Could be a nice, easy transition, just as Fresno State went to Burt Watts as the defensive coordinator last year when they lost Orlando Steinauer.
All right. He's Jackson Moore. You can read his stuff on barkboard.com. He's always got the latest on Bulldog Athletics. It's great. It's great. Thanks, Jackson.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Meantime, the Bulldog women had a nice week as well.